Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very warm welcome to all my dear students. Hope you all are doing good. I am your English teacher. Today I will be teaching you an interesting lesson from your supplementary reader, The Deserted Island, adapted from the life and adventures of Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. It's a story full of adventure. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Most of you must be familiar or would have read the story of Robinson Crusoe. Before we begin the story in detail, we will study briefly about the writer Daniel Defoe. Daniel Defoe was an English writer and journalist. He was born in 1660 in United Kingdom. His best known works are Robinson Crusoe, Moll Flanders and Captain Singleton. He wrote them as novels and created his own stories and characters around real life events and people. His famous novel Robinson Crusoe was based on the adventures of Alexander Selkirk, a Scottish sailor who was shipwrecked and spent 4 years alone on the island. The book Robinson Crusoe, universally considered Defoe's masterpiece and is regarded as the first novel in English. It was first published in 1719. Within years, it had reached an audience as wide as any book ever written in English. He died in the year 1731. Scottish here, a person from Scotland. Shipwrecked, an accident in which a ship is destroyed or sunk at sea, especially by hitting rocks. Novel, a long printed story that describes imaginary characters and events. In short, a story that is invented or untrue. It does not describe real people or deal with facts. This story, The Deserted Island, revolves around a sailor named Robinson Crusoe who had set out on a voyage. As he was adventurous, he traveled to many countries. His ship was wrecked during one such voyage and he was thrown on an empty island. This story is written in narrative form. It is a form of writing in which the writer shares his personal experience of life. The writer expresses his thoughts, feelings, and reactions in detail. He also shares the events in a sequence that helps the reader for better understanding. Personal pronouns such as I, we, me, us are used in writing a narrative form. The main character of the story is the first person, that is, narrator, who conveys to the reader his own point of view. And the setting or the situation of the story is the deserted island. Let's begin the story. The deserted island. Deserted here, empty of people. After his ship is destroyed in a storm, Robinson Crusoe finds himself alone on an unknown island. Exhausted, he climbs a tree to stay safe from wild animals and falls asleep. Exhausted here, very tired. When I woke up, it was broad day. The weather was clear and the storm had died down, so that the sea did not rage and swell as before. The ship had been driven up to a rock within a mile from the shore where I was. I decided to go on board so that I might save some necessary things for my use. I pulled off my coat and shirt, for the weather was extremely hot, and swam to the ship. All the ship's provisions were dry and untouched by the water. Being very hungry, I filled my pockets with biscuits and ate them as I looked for other things. Provisions here, food supplies. I built a raft with some large pieces of wood, some boards, and rope. I considered what I wanted the most. Then I got 3 large boxes and lowered them down upon the raft. I filled them with bread, rice, cheese, and corn. While I was doing this, I saw my coat, shirt, and waistcoat, which I had left on shore upon the sand, swim away. This made me start looking for clothes in the ship. I also needed tools to work with on shore. I found out the carpenter's box and got it down to my raft. Raft here, floating structure made by tying flat pieces of wood together. When I had managed to carry back everything that I had collected, I found a suitable spot and left my raft and all my cargo safe there. Cargo here, goods carried on a ship. Asleep. Here the narrator says, when he woke up, it was daytime. The weather was clear and the sea was calm. The ship had dashed against a rock about a mile from where he was stranded. He planned to bring the provisions to the shore to survive until he gets some help. Soon he built a raft to carry all his necessary things to the shore from the ship. He took 3 large boxes and filled them with foodstuff, clothes, and tools that he needed to work with on shore. He tied them to the raft and sailed to the shore. He successfully brought back his things from the ship. Here it shows that Crusoe was an action-oriented hero because he swam to the ship, built a raft, and piled it with food, clothes, and all necessary tools. After I had got to the top of the hill, I saw that I was on an island. I found also that the island was deserted. I came back to my raft and started bringing my cargo on shore. It took up the rest of the day. At night, I was afraid to lie down on the ground. What if some wild beast attacked me? I barricaded myself round with the boxes and boards that I had brought on shore and made a kind of a hut. Barricaded here, put up a temporary wall. I knew that the next storm that blew would break the ship to pieces. So I decided to set all other work aside till I got every useful thing out of the ship. I brought away different kinds of tools, all the men's clothes that I could find, and some bed sheets and covers. I found a lot of bread, a box of sugar, and a barrel of fine flour, 2 or 3 razors, 1 pair of large scissors, some knives and forks, and some money. My thoughts then turned to making a proper place to live. First, I needed a place where there would be fresh water. Then, I needed shelter from the heat of the sun and security from wild creatures. I also wanted a view of the sea in case a ship sailed into sight. Finally, I found a little plain on the side of a hill. Plain here, stretch of flat land. The slope of the hill above this spot was very steep, so that no animal could come down from the top. Steep here, rising sharply. On one side was a hollow place like the entrance of a cave, but there was not really any cave or way into the rock at all. I decided to set up my tent in front of this hollow place. The hill sheltered me from the heat. I made a fence so tall and strong that no man or animal could climb over it. Instead of a door, I made a ladder to climb in and out of my new home. Inside this fence, I carried all my provisions. After bringing back his cargo on shore, his next task was to find a proper place to live. He had to survive somehow until he could leave the island. So he had started looking for a suitable place to make his home. The most important thing that he needed was a place where he would get fresh water for drinking and cooking. The other necessities that he needed were shelter from the sun, safety from animals, and a view of the sea to watch out the passing ships that could save him. Finally, he found a suitable place and built his shelter at the foot of the hill that could protect him from wild animals. He also raised a tall fence around his shelter and used ladder instead of a door to enter and exit. Here, Robinson Crusoe showed his courage and commitment to make the best of his situation and not be a victim of his circumstances. After bringing back his cargo on shore, his next task was to find a proper place to live. He had to survive somehow until he could leave the island. So, he had started looking for a suitable place to make his home. The most important thing that he needed was a proper place where he would get fresh water for drinking and cooking. The other necessities that he needed were shelter from the sun, safety from animals, and a view of the sea to watch out the passing ships that could save him. Finally, Crusoe found a suitable place and built his shelter at the foot of the hill that could protect him from wild animals. He also raised tall fence around his shelter and used a ladder instead of a door to enter and exit. Here, Robinson Crusoe showed his courage and commitment to make the best of his situation and not be a victim of his circumstances. On it, I cut these words with my knife. I came on shore here on the 30th of September 1659. Upon the sides of this post, I cut every day a mark with my knife. Every seventh mark was twice as long as the others, and every first day of the month was even longer. Thus, I kept my calendar. After providing himself with basic necessities such as water, food, shelter from the sun, and safety from animals, Crusoe set up a large post on the shore to mark his arrival date, that is, 30th September 1659. He also kept count of the days on the post because he wanted to see how long he was able to survive on his resourcefulness, that is, food supplies. Here the question is, what role has the storm played in the story? It's a natural disaster that has brought the narrator to this unexpected situation. The theme of the story is we can get over our fears only if we face them with courage. When you face difficult times, know that challenges are not sent to destroy you. They are sent to promote, increase, and strengthen you. Please note down this question. What kind of adventure would you enjoy? Write in 5 to 6 sentences in your English notebook. Hope you enjoyed this adventurous story. Thank you and have a nice day. Let me read out the summary of the lesson, The Deserted Island. When Robinson Crusoe woke up, he realized that it was daytime. The storm of the previous night had blown over. The weather was clear and the sea was calm. His ship had been knocked against a rock about a mile from where he was marooned. He decided to retrieve whatever he could from the ship. He would need it to survive. He took off his coat and shirt and swam to the ship. Fortunately, all the provisions were dry. He put some biscuits into his pocket to munch while working, as he was hungry. He built a raft on which to cart his belongings from the ship to the land. While he was stocking up on food, he saw his coat and shirt drifting away. He gathered some clothes and tools from the ship. Then he returned to land with his immediate supplies and docked his raft. He then surveyed the area from a hilltop and found that he was on a deserted island. He spent the whole day transferring his cargo from the raft to the shore. He erected the boxes of supplies like a wall to protect himself while sleeping that night. The next day, he brought back everything that was worthwhile, knowing that the storm would wreck the ship. Now he needed to build a shelter where he could be safe from the sun and from wild animals. He also needed fresh water to drink. He wanted his shelter to face the sea so that he could see ships sailing by, if any. He decided to put up his tent against a hollow place on a hillside. He built a tall fence that only he could climb over with a ladder, and then he carried his belongings into this dwelling. When he had been on the island for about 10 to 12 days, he set up a wooden post and cut the date of his arrival on the island into it, 30th September 1659. He made short cuts on the sides of the post to mark the number of days, longer ones to denote the number of weeks, and even longer ones to mark the month. He thus maintained his calendar. The next day, he brought back everything that was worthwhile, knowing that the storm would wreck the ship. Now he needed to build a shelter where he could be safe from the sun and from wild animals. He also needed fresh water to drink. He wanted his shelter to face the sea so that he could see ships sailing by, if any. He decided to put up his tent against a hollow place on a hillside. He built a tall fence that only he could climb over with a ladder. And then he carried his belongings into this dwelling. When he had been on the island for about 10 to 12 days, he set up a wooden post and cut the date of his arrival on the island into it, 30th September 1659. He made shortcuts on the sides of the post to mark the number of days, longer ones to denote the number of weeks, and even longer ones to mark the months. He thus maintained his calendar.